Wow.
You want it closer? Not on me?
Perfect.
You don't like it, it's because you talk.
Owl is one.
Yes, always. All right. So we can get started with the audit committee, Mark, whenever you're ready.
Think I'm.
Yes, you are, John.
Yeah, that's so.
Take this on first.
Okay. I think
You are.
Dave and John.
Oh, he needs, after the meeting, John didn't get his cup yet.
we don't have to go run it out.
I said after the meeting. You have to do it right now, Tony.
Okay,
And do we press the,
right here.
yep, thank you. Off and away.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to report on the audit committee agenda, call to order. Roll call, let's do that.
Yep,
And waive the reading of the notice of the meeting. Okay, no presentations.
none.
And let's see, reading and consideration for draft minutes of meeting. Do we have a motion to approve those, right? Is that?
Yes.
Okay,
Second.
okay. Thank you. Any public comment?
None.
Not hearing any. Other business as required of old business. I'm not aware of anything.
None.
Okay. And we have an action item to recommend ratification and confirming the initiation of the audit following the regular board meeting held on December 8th of 2025. Okay. And let's see. So the action item is going to go to Trent when it comes to the board meetings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Need a motion.
Okay. Motion. Okay.
I'll second.
Same two folks. Thank you. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you. Anything else for adjourn?
None, you can adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you very much. Meet you adjourned.
Same thing for this.
Go to the next tab, the audit, you see. Okay, call the meeting to order of the audit committee agenda, roll call to quorum. And waive the reading and notice of the meeting. No presentations at this time.
None.
And reading and consideration of the draft minutes of the meeting. Do I have a motion? Okay,
I'll second.
none. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Hearing none. No public comment that I'm aware of. Other business as required, old business. And then we also have for new business, action item recommendation ratifying and confirming the initiation of the audit following the regular board meeting held on December 8th, 2025. Okay, so I have a motion. Okay,
I'll second.
okay, thank you, gentlemen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, agreed. Okay, thank you.
I'll make the motion to adjourn. I'll second.
Okay, thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned.
Perfect. Trent, it's your show now.
Yep, quit that one, Brett.
Telling you set stage. I'll call the Clinton County Industrial Development Agency meeting to order at 12:03 on January 21st, 26. I declare a quorum and waive the reading of the notice of the meeting as well as the minutes and ask for a motion to approve them. Mark?
Second.
Dave, second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Colin, public comment?
Yes, we have some folks here from Connecticut Avenue Holdings who wanted to give us an update on where their project is at. Go ahead.
So, hi, everybody. I'm Mike Murnane, Connecticut Avenue Holdings, and I'm working with the founder as well. I believe, Kim, the last place that we left off was kind of in the aftermath of Sterix being dissolved and vacating your warehouse at Connecticut Avenue. At first, we were looking for the tenant to see what their plan was. So we had probably, a larger window, where they were kind of still winding down their operations. They were still using the building for some storage operations. But they were clearly whittling down kind of the workforce that they had in the building. Eventually they decided that they were not going to try to sublease the space, which we want to give them the opportunity to do. And so they approached us, was it probably 4 or 5 months ago? We started kind of negotiating of how we could terminate the lease and how we could try to start going about a new plan to relet the space. The negotiations, I think, started off on a good foot, but I think the tenant kind of became a little bit more unreasonable as the negotiations went on. We had issued a notice of default on the tenant because of various concerns they had specific to the lease terms. And after that point, we continued for maybe one more negotiating session, and then they ended up suing us. So right now, that is where we stand right now. Makes it very difficult to terminate the lease and to be able to move forward on it until the active litigation is resolved. That being said, we're not giving up, and we remain open to negotiating with the tenant to try to see if we can get them out of there and bring a job creating tenant into the space. So that is our goal and our hope, and we're going to keep pursuing that path. I think that's generally the summary of where we are, but happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, and I'll just remind the board, so, our councils have gone back and forth. We needed to be sure that we were doing our fiduciary responsibility and ensuring that the benefits that we provided, that the requirements based on that application were being satisfied. Our council has advised that, this is sufficient as far as we are concerned, for making sure we've done all that we need to do. We've given them, notification. They're, obviously tied in litigation, so they can't get a new tenant right now. So I'm ready just to hear what was going on. So for our last. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to.
What's happening?
Building. Yeah, we did a great job.
Like I said, we're not giving up. We remain open, and yet even with the lawsuit, we're still open to negotiating now. So we're just trying to see how they respond to the slip.
Jobs. And that's well, okay, yeah. The fall at least grants, but obviously we certainly want to create jobs in the community. I think you too.
Just hey, man, not good enough. We don't want these doesn't matter at all. We want to live up to our yeah, it's cool. So, sure. That's I'm very cool.
Great. Questions, comments?
Sure. Go for it.
So I think Chris and I are seeing that there, and thanking them for coming in again and reminding them that you still want to receive the report earlier for assuming uh, um like I said, the idea is doing due diligence. So at this point, you can terminate it if you want, or you can leave the project as a kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, as are you. So, I mean, better that, but you can kind of proceed it down either path. It's fine, but you don't even make the decision now, but are they just initial parent stage on this company? Yeah. We come to the board now 3 or 4 times now in the litigation, but now we can update everyone where they're at and maybe you can share. Just the fact.
So I mean, obviously to you guys, but I think my recommendation would be to have them send a letter and we'll just continue to monitor the progress as we go forward.
That would be my anxious. She's so, there couldn't be any in your basis. How
They have been required to report to us quarterly, which is what
I think Yeah. Could,
the end. They're the recipient of the benefit. But, we never thought about the control of
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And,
having some sort of protections, maybe if there's a situation like that again.
Mhm.
Not that I would ever discourage doing PVC pilots. We're great partners, but they obviously are getting tenants and they're in this spec. So it's something to think about if we ever should do another agreement with them.
moving on to committee reports, treasurer, Mark.
Okay, reading here the report.
We've spent a lot of money.
Balance sheet, the town balance says 12/31/25 was $99,880.51 and change. The organization received an annual administrative fee from CHP LLC, and the organization made $192.02 in interest income on savings account. The income statement shows the expenses that were approved and paid during the month of December. $100. Roof dash CBA tool, $1,000. Black book general store.
It should be for. Yes.
General store meeting expense $90,005. Harlan Park meeting expense $378. And let's see, NC Chamber of Commerce on the entrance use sponsorship $750.
Papers. Opposed, motion carries. The audit committee,
Number 8 of 2025.
He's just giving the report out right now.
I was looking for that.
You don't see it?
Why don't we just, on this? To our discussion, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So there's no other old business to attend to.
This,
Yes, so number one, we're scrapping. The company contacted me on Friday. They would like to push they not quite ready to move forward with the public hearing yet. So they're gonna ask to be on the February agenda. To play the public hearing resolution, which, as I said, no, it requires no deviation because it is consistent with our new uniform tax exemption policy. You do have their fully completed application cost benefit analysis. The application you got at the last meeting, the cost benefit analysis is in your, we'll deal with that next time.
It's being holdings.
You do have an update application in your, you define what their phase project is. You have already, at the last meeting, contemplated allowing a public hearing to go through. You know, it's a significantly smaller project. I personally makes financial sense for them, but as my counsel actually pointed out, it's not my job to worry about what makes financial sense for them. We've already voted on the public hearing, so we can hold the public hearing, and then if, you know, they'll come back for the approving resolution, and there's more questions that need to be ironed out. I mean, they did definitely give us enough information. It's not really detailed, but it's detailed enough as far as my counsel is good, has us concerned. Questions, comments? Yeah.
It's an odd piece. I think it. Hope they meant go.
Yes. Agreed. So we'll have the public hearing and then maybe we'll be that much more sure when we have them back for the approving.
Okay. Maybe in there, if we. So.
Yeah,
Or.
yeah.
Like.
But it'll be as important.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Okay,
Moving our services from Corel to somebody else. I was having a very hard time finding, I was taking new clients. Kara Stark, Elliot and I happened to be on the CDPH board together, and so she was able to put together a proposal for me. It is quite a bit more than what Corel's is charging us. However, there was words, I sent it over to Hoffner Niels, they were giving it to Corel's.
that's.
Connection issue. Yeah, it says there's no Wi-Fi.
When you were questioned about how is there involved, you know, from the challenges that you.
Not really, other than, you know, sorry. Sorry, I'll do better kind of thing. Conversation with him, to be honest. It was more like, you know, kind of thing. I mean, I'm happy to give him one more try if that's what you guys want.
Well, I'm just asking, you know, what's your confidence on what already, thought of and put in place?
Yeah, I mean, so it'll be interesting to see once DD gets up and going with the software they're providing. I think I'll have a better sense once that starts. But, we do give you the treasurer's report every month, which Jay gives to us. So, I think actually DD would be preparing those now, for the most part, because she's just gonna be able to like print it.
So don't.
And Dee and I had a long discussion about, I'm like, is that something you want to do, or is that, and she said, she thought it would be a lot easier from her end if she could just do it herself. So, because otherwise she's fighting with Jay to get what she needs, and timeliness is always an issue,
And
so.
I'm commenting on just, that was one things that we've, over the years, we've got dinged on was follow-up. That's
Right.
really what I want to make
Yep.
sure we had something that we discussed.
Sure.
About comfortable. I'm
Sure.
good with that.
Okay.
Good. Vote, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. When do you think you can make the transition?
I will make it within the next week or two.
Okay, New York State EDC benefits.
So this is, the Economic Development Council for New York State that, I've been a part of. We've actually taken a lot more active roles with them. They're, the biggest economic development organization in the state, and, they do a lot of lobbying for us on behalf of the IDAs. So I would recommend approval of that membership again.
Can I get a motion? John? The discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries.
So, we have been discussing the possibility of me starting to attend site selector conferences to try and attract, more businesses here. With my conferences that I've been to and talking with folks in like Onondaga and all the places that are getting like these very big fish, I asked like what their strategies were, and it was always to get in front of these site selectors. There is one, in March, in the spring. And if we don't want to go to this one, that's fine. We've missed the early bird deadline. So I'm okay, if you don't want to send me to this one, but it is something I want to put on the IDA's radar and say, is this something that you guys want me to start attending? They're not cheap. They're several $1,000s, and in return you get, the higher you spend, the more private time you get with site selectors is really what it comes down to. So, I talked obviously with Christine at the county too, and, we've got some properties there that we've partnered on trying to repurpose, and they're unique properties. And so, I hate to think that we're going to sit and just hope that somebody falls into our lap, because I don't think we're going to be that lucky. So.
What would be helpful for me is, because I have no objection to these things.
Yep.
I think there's a lot that we have to do. I think we need to, I hate to say have a.
You can't test my liver when I come back. That's not fair.
Plan, no, I don't want to say a planning retreat, but I think what I'd like to see is a plan.
Okay.
And I don't want you to spend a lot of time and whatever,
Yeah.
but we've got some properties. How do we, what's our intent, right?
Right.
And also, because I think of, what we can spend money on, especially we talk about workforce development.
Yeah.
Let's throw that out on the table and start to think about what do we do going forward, to really make a positive impact. And what do we think we want to earmark for spending money
Yeah.
on an annual basis?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it just kind of, and now, and not, it's nobody's fault, but now sometimes I feel like we're just throwing things
Yep, I get it.
out there, seeing what sticks, and let's kind of start to think about,
Yep.
the workforce development, the properties that have to go, how do we get them out of here? How do we really get our name on the map?
Yeah.
As a place to be.
And part of that falls within our marketing strategy, right? And starting to implement some of those things. I've got to wait for Golden Shovel to finish the website stuff before we can really kick that stuff off. But, I think utilizing that strategy is much to our advantage, and then figuring out, what does make sense within that for return on investment, and, maybe earmarking, we're going to spend
Yeah.
X amount on this year and X amount on this aspect this year.
That would be helpful.
Okay.
Well, to add to that too, I think we used to do that a lot. I see we had a lot of properties, so we'd catalog them,
Right.
have them, photos, things. And so,
Yeah.
so that if we don't hear anything about it for 2 years, you at least know where you
Right.
left off.
Right.
And you have some
Right.
continuity between, one season to another, or if there's activity, and again, you mentioned it's strategic, so it'd probably have to be somewhat, I don't know if it's all public information, but if we could somehow keep that, as to what our decisions were, we want to
Yeah.
hire XYZ and, as a trial basis, and they were gonna give us initial marketing for 2026,
Right,
and then do it again in 2 years or something of that nature. Just keep track of what we did, because I know that's, we go through so many. I
Right.
struggle with trying to have the connection from one property to another unless it's a frequent flyer, that we visit all the time. So,
and I think too, Mark, once we get the new website up and going, that, they're, been very good about making sure where the sections are, we'll have more
on that.
on up-to-date information on the properties themselves,
That's
the projects that we have, right?
Continuously market.
Exactly, exactly,
Good. No, I'm good.
You should probably almost want to have a book, right?
right,
You want to have multiple
Yeah.
copies of the book to hand to
Yeah.
site collectors
Yep.
to be able to be like, this is what we have.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So is this something that you want to go to?
Um,
Go to Greenland.
You know,
Iceland.
it's so close, like initially when I first started talking to Christine about this, I would have said yes. I'm not sure I'm prepared to go to this one, to be honest, as much as I don't want to waste an opportunity, right? And
Right.
so the thought was, do we just go, see what it's all about? But I kind of feel like I want some more definitive stuff done before I get in front of these people. Like, I don't want to go there and look
Right.
stupid and then they'll never come and talk to me again. So, they have these conferences throughout the year. It's not like there's one and that's it. So, I keep my eyes open to see what it looks like because they're all busy. But at radar, to make note, because it is happening. I want to have the conversations that, if I said, no, we want you there, we'll go, I'll go. If you're asking, but my honest opinion is I'm not sure I feel, in 2 months to be able to do something like that.
It's definitely something we should.
Yeah. I need more stuff, but yeah. So, okay, good discussion. Thank you. So I think moving forward, what I'll do is, over the next month before our next meeting, I'll try and, work Golden Shovel to kind of find some potential, pairings that would work well with their strategy. And then we can kind of talk about numbers as to what, we think we're comfortable spending over year to year. That makes sense.
Is that how we're gonna follow up on?
Yeah,
Suggestion of
Yeah.
having a plan?
that's what I'm thinking that works best.
Okay. But the Masters is going on in Georgia.
Did you want to go, Trent?
Okay, moving on to workforce development program funding applications.
Yeah, so I'm gonna request based on, what's my legal reason for executive session?
Council.
Advice of counsel to go into executive session. We had talked about this at the last meeting and creating a potential application, whereas people, i.e. Educational institutions or companies could come to us and apply for funding to create training programs to have a skilled and ready workforce. Twofold, it's, helping our employers that might already be here, that want to train and don't necessarily want to spend a ton of money. And on the flip side, we can use it as a recruiting tool to say, look what we have here in Clinton County that you can't get anywhere else. So, Shannon has created those materials, and because we need council advice as to what's in there, we need to go into executive sessions. Those documents remain public until they're not remain private until they're not in draft form.
So, and I get a motion to go into executive session.
I'll second.
John, discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. So we don't need to
kind of silly, but that way you have it, yeah.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Christine second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
So just to note for the record that no action was taken, we did receive some correspondence from AES and I will be responding to them. Okay.
Any other new business?
No, Chairman.
Christine, do you have an update for us?
Our nursing home was finally sold
Yay.
after the last meeting, I believe. So that was good for the county and we are, we have a water project that we're doing with Town of Schuyler Falls. And that should be breaking ground this spring. Half of the homeowners have signed up for, the water project and another half we're going out, well, the engineers are going out and, trying to get the rest of them to sign up. Cause obviously if they don't sign up now, they would have to pay to have the student service to their house. So it's much more advantageous for them to do it now when the grant's paying for it. So, that's a good job done to get those folks clean water. And then you are looking to hire a position.
We have posted that position that the IDA has so graciously is supplementing for us. I anticipate that person will have their hands full when we start doing this whole application process. So I think that'll be a really great task for them. That'll be a steady continuous work for sure. But we're, obviously very much looking forward to getting somebody in here, but the right person. I'm not rushing to hire anybody. I want to make sure it's exactly what we're looking for. So, we will have potentially the opportunity to move, because if I'm inside of my office, it's, small. Dee Dee and I share our office, so to bring on a third person, I'm not really sure if they would sit on the floor or where they would sit. The county did say they could build something. It would be kind of crazy.
I
So
didn't want to do that.
we didn't really want to do that.
We would have, but we didn't. want to.
Yeah, so, I have approached Congresswoman Stefanik, who is,
Thank you.
oh yeah, sorry, Tony. Yeah, given that she is no longer running for Congress, we don't necessarily know who the next congressional representative is going to be, nor, they might not even want a Plattsburgh office. So the county wanted to maybe take that space back. And she said that she might be willing to give it up early because there's, her staff doesn't work there full time anyway. And she's just paying rent for something she really doesn't need anymore. Plattsburgh isn't exactly a place she's visited frequently in the last couple of years. And so her reception here last time was not great. So, I can't imagine her wanting to come here a lot. And if she does, we would certainly make the space for her as she would need it. And we have a good working relationship with them. So, they are contemplating giving us that space back early, which, we would probably have to pay a little bit of rent in that. Said I wouldn't spend more money, but but they are getting, not a ton of money from her right now, but,
Yeah.
just to kind of, make sure we can keep the lights on in there, but it's an ideal space.
Space.
It's got a smaller office where I could have private meetings, and then there's definitely enough space for two people to work in like the front office area. So, and it's ideal too, because it's still right here. So,
We're busting at the seams, so.
Yeah.
It's a perfect opportunity.
yeah.
Loaded gun.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned on that.
Oh, we're also doing, the Office of Court Administration is doing a court improvement project, so they are redoing some of the courtrooms upstairs as well, so that's something they are also running out of space, so they're trying to maximize the space that they have too.
Doge didn't get to us.
You go up.
Move down to the old-
We can actually,
Huh?
there is a design to go
Never.
up and over
Never.
the parking lot, yeah.
View.
They
It would be beautiful.
kind of
Can you
nudged
imagine
me to
Noel
think
Gray
about
trying to
that.
get to the DMV in the middle of winter?
I don't know if we're ready for that. Yeah, they also wanted to take over the former Clinton Community College campus, and I said, thank you.
No,
When you're unveiling that the next?
yeah, so that should be revealed to the Finance Committee on February 11th, in which I'll do a subsequent presentation for the IDA. So they've really tailored down the vision. I think it's still pretty big thinking, but much more doable. It's not as grandiose. It's definitely, provides the direction the county legislators wanted to go in without making anybody too upset or overdevelopment. So
That beach is
leave it alone. So, and as far as my report, Chairman, it's a little light. We had the holidays in there. I went on vacation, and I was out last week. So, for family issue, but so my report is a little light, but, we pretty much covered everything I needed to cover today. So,
Okay,
other than I'm sorry, I will add that, just yesterday, or today, yesterday, Vortex, Jackie Kelleher from Peru Central School District did send me the resolution the school district passed with an update to what I had written on Friday. So that should be starting to move forward to close.
okay. Anything else for the CCIG?
I won't be at the next meeting. I'll be in Florida. Sorry.
Rubber
May I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Dave and John. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Did anyone have
Oh.
to get the motion in a second to exit executive session?
John, I think motioned.
It was Mark and John to go in
Ah.
at 12:34, and
Yep.
John and Christine to come out at 1:00.
John and Christine, one.
18.
Okay, yep. All right. So now we just have to convene the CRC real quickly to do the audit.
County Capital Resource Corporation meeting, waive the declarative forum. Waive the reading of the, notice as well as the minutes and ask for a motion to approve the minutes. John, Christine, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public, comment, none, treasury report.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the CCCRC report of income, the organization received $100 from NFI for FTZ fees and $192.28 in interest income. Expenses, the organization paid $480 to Miller and Company for legal services. End of report.
May I get a motion to approve the treasury report? Christine, John, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The audit committee.
Section was this purple.
Yes.
Green section.
John,
Second.
discussion? Thursday. Motion carries. Any other? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Yes. Scratch, I guess. Hey, Jetty.
Tony.
When that. Everyone get, Danny? When that
just, he didn't reconnect the streaming software, so that stopped streaming at that point. Okay.